We're just getting older, world is getting colder, trying to get sober, Lord help me get stronger, world is on my shoulders.
How you doing today? We are at the 12 at 12 podcast, and this is the podcast that's about real life, real recovery, real redemption, growth and development, because that's what it's about. And if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, tap the subscribe button and share for more. We have a special guest today. I guess his name's Rucker.
Yes, sir.
Hey, how you doing, my
I'm
brother?
doing
How you
good,
doing?
sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I appreciate the invite.
Oh man, appreciate you coming in. Appreciate you coming in, telling us the story, sharing us a little bit of wisdom and a little bit of your life about what happened with you and your struggles and recovery and redemption.
Yes, sir.
Now, before we get started, let y'all know that we are sponsored by First Step Recovery, and if you need any help with substance abuse disorder problems, alcoholism, you need help, you need a good program, please contact First Step Recovery and they will be happy to help you. Many graduations has been happening, great turnarounds from people changing their lives, so this is a great program that you could go to. Holler at First Step Recovery and you see the name above. It should be right across the top somewhere. Thank you again.
Thank
so,
you.
Ruck, tell me this here. First off, I'd like to start off by asking, what was the first drug you ever used?
Well, of course, marijuana.
You said of course, like
Started out smoking weed, man.
Start out smoking weed.
Yeah.
As the majority of people do that, you know, I look at it as the gateway drug. After that, what happened?
Well, I grew up in the 90s. I actually grew up in this facility I went to church at.
Oh, for real?
So yeah, at this church that they turned into First Step Recovery.
What?
Yeah, man. So I got
something?
I got a lot of history. Things really come full circle. You know what I'm saying?
Praise God.
But I started out smoking weed. My auntie used to sell joints for $5, $2, 2 for $5, something like that.
Oh yeah, that was definitely back in the 90s.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Probably about 13 years old.
Yeah.
You know, running around the neighborhood. That's back when, you know, crack was a big thing, and a lot of my older cousins were selling drugs. So I got into that. So we were selling drugs, and I had two brothers. Really, they're my cousins, but I was raised by my aunt and uncle. So we grew up as brothers, and you know, we started dibbling, dabbling, jumped out the porch, started selling drugs, smoking weed, buying birds. We could buy birds at a young age at this store called Whitey's. I grew up on 32nd Street, right, a couple blocks from here in Louisville, Kentucky. You know, so that's how it started.
That's how it started?
Yeah.
What happened with your parents?
My parents, my father is an oral surgeon. He was off to school. My mother is one of us. I never seen my parents in the same room together growing up, in the same house together. I don't have no memories in ever being in the same room together with them.
Wow.
My father was always gone off to some school somewhere. He went to dental school and all that type of thing. And my mother had some drug issues, so I bounced around from my mother to my father's father, my grandfather, and my aunt. So by the time I was 8 years old, the judge asked me who I wanted to live with, and I chose my aunt.
Oh, at 8 years old?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So that was your brother's sister?
Well, I got a sister with my mother and father. My aunt had two boys, my two cousins, so I called them my brothers too.
Okay. Nice. So tell me, did you ever go in do anything harder than that?
Growing up, I mostly just smoked weed and drank. We would find some volumes every now and then, take those type of pills. Then I got into ecstasy in my 20s.
You was in the 90s, so a lot of ecstasy was definitely going around heavy back in that time.
Right.
You know, especially in the songs, there was like, hey, pop a pill now, we on X. You know, everybody's like, ecstasy was a big thing back then. It's just in case y'all wasn't around back then, you know, it seems like forever ago.
Yeah, and it was the good.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, man, I started doing music. Grew up in the church. I was singing in the choir in the church.
Oh, wow.
And then transitioned into rapping and all that. So through my teenage years, by the time I hit my 20s, we was touring, light touring across the country. Nothing major, but we would go to Atlanta and Florida and a couple different places, Cincinnati, Lexington, all the local spots. And when we would do that, we would take ecstasy and do the party thing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
And it'd be on the weekends or whatever. Come back home. I worked at the hospital. I was an EKG tech at Jewish Hospital for 18 years.
Oh, nice.
Never graduated high school. I lied on my application saying I had a high school diploma.
No.
Back in 1999, they didn't check none of that. You know what I'm saying? So I was working a job, had a kid at 20, moved out on my own, me and my girlfriend at the time. So I was living an adult life. I was doing music, smoking weed, drinking every night in the studio, doing ecstasy every now and then. It wasn't nothing I was doing every day. And then when I was about 24 years old, I went and got my wisdom teeth pulled. And that doctor gave me Vicodin. And I took that Vicodin home and I drank a beer with it. And the feeling that I felt was like nothing I ever felt before.
The mixture of it kind of like, because when I was younger before, I tried like a Xanax and I drank alcohol with the Xanax, and it was like, whoa, this is like different.
Yeah.
Like when you take those type of strong drugs and mix with alcohol, it's dangerous.
Yeah,
but
it
definitely.
it boosts.
Yeah, it boosts it like 100 times.
Yeah. So I did that, and I loved the feeling of it. But, then that stayed in the back of my mind. So, fast forward 10 years, I'm in my late 30s. I'm 45 years old, so I'm in my late 30s. And I dibble and dab whenever I would find pain pills, I would take them, drink a beer with it, smoke some weed with it, you know what I'm saying? But I never took it enough to get addicted.
Yeah.
Until I ran into a friend of mine. I was selling weed at the time. I always dibbled and dab. I kept a job, but I always dibbled and dabbed in the streets.
Had you like side hustle going on with the street?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this young lady I was working with, she had lower tabs, and I would trade her weed for the lower tabs on the weekends. And she kept a good supply of it, so I started taking them every day. Then she introduced me to Roxy 30s.
Oh, man, I know a lot of people, man. I never had a Roxy. I had pain pills before that was prescribed to me.
Yeah.
But I always heard a lot about people getting hooked on those Roxy 30s, man. It was like a big thing in the Kissimmee area down there in Florida and Kissimmee, Orlando. A lot of people was messing with those a couple of years ago.
Yeah, man. So it was a game changer. Again, started taking them after work on the weekends, doing music, writing. So I would get into that kind of zone. And then I got physically addicted to it. I didn't know what withdrawal was, none of that. So I just thought I was sick. You know what I'm saying? And she told me, "Nah, you ain't sick. You withdrawing. You need some more of this."
That's what the
That's what the girl said.
The girl told you
that I was messing with. You know what I'm
because
saying?
she already knew what time it was.
She was already on it. Yeah, her whole little crew.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, they
didn't even let you know, like, to set you up. Hey, man, if you get up in this here, man, this is a good chance that this is gonna be happening.
Yeah, it was fun back then. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what struggle she was going through, but she never seemed to be going through nothing. We would party and, you know what I'm saying, her little crew would come over and we kick it and have a good time, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think she did it maliciously, trying to, harm me or nothing. But
she just wasn't thinking. It kind of reminds me because my boy, he was on lean, right? When the lean thing was popping off heavy, so, I was around the rap scene and different things like that there. So a lot of people had lean. And my boys was drinking it, so I drank some lean before too, but I just went into it, but they went through withdrawals off of lean.
Yeah.
And then it was like, man, listen, man, there's one friend who asked another friend, hey man, what's up? Let me get some of this lean, man. And he was like, listen, this ain't what you want, man, because if you take this here, bro, you know what I'm saying, I really think I'll be having withdrawals off of this, man. So I don't know if you even want to start doing this.
Right.
And even though a person might, like I said, I'm not saying she did it maliciously, but some people, when they're more conscious of they're going through it, like, yo, you know what, I'm feeling this type of way bad here. I don't know if you want to do this. A lot of people just don't think, especially if you have a huge supply of it. Right. You're just popping every time, and you don't even know what your body's going through because you might just feel like, I'm just tired or I'm just feeling kind of sick. You pop one, you feel a little bit better. You don't even know that it's real withdrawal.
Right. Yeah. So he was a real friend to tell his boy that you don't want none of this. You know what I'm saying?
Fast.
I've definitely done that with people once I figured out what it does to you.
Yeah, for sure.
So that started my journey to fast forward things. I'm working at the hospital. I've been there 18 years at this point. And I would go on break. I'm addicted at this point, so I would leave the hospital on my lunch break. I'd be in the West End trying to look for pills. I wouldn't come back to work until I found them. They'd be like, where you been at? I lied to them, say I was in the bathroom, I had the runs, you know what I'm saying? Start doing stuff like that, start showing up to work late, stop getting my hair cut, stop caring how I look, stop going to see my kids.
Dang.
You know what I'm saying? So it progressively got worse over like a 6-month period till I ended up getting fired, from not showing up to work.
Dang.
Yeah, and then that triggered. So at this point, I'm fine. I'm addicted. You know what I'm saying? Nobody knew I was either. None of my friends knew I was taking these pills. Nobody. I've always been a leader amongst my peers, doing music, starting a T-shirt printing company called Chase Your Dream, still going today. And you know, so I've always been the one that kind of had ideas and would push us in certain directions. So they didn't know I had this struggle going on. You know what I'm saying? Until I came clean to everybody after about a year. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you came clean.
Yeah, I did.
Now, how did it feel when you had to come clean about the about everything?
It was a load off my conscience, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't showing up to work the business at that point. My business partner, his wife, took over the business, still running it today. And so, you know, I wouldn't show up for nothing. And so when I came clean, what actually happened was I did some research on how to stop doing opiates. And I came across Kratom. Excuse me. I came across Kratom, and I thought it was a miracle drug because it helped just enough to go through the withdrawal of it. You know what I'm saying? So I was riding one day looking for some pills, and I'm talking to God, and I'm like, Lord, I got to kick this, man. I'm losing everything. And like I said, I was doing some research, so I seen Kratom in a smoke shop, lit up in a smoke shop. I said, that's that stuff I seen on YouTube. So I stopped in there, I got some. It was nasty as hell. He told me, take a teaspoon of it, drink it with some orange juice. I buried it, I took it, and that night, my withdrawal wasn't that bad. And I said, thank you, Lord. I just needed something to take the edge off. And the withdrawal keeps you going back to it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what happened. So then, with that, once I found that, I took 7 days, locked myself in the house, man, and took that Kratom and did it and pissed and prayed and, excuse my language, man, and went through all the withdrawal, restless leg syndrome, couldn't sleep, went through that for 7 days. I was determined to get off of it.
Yeah.
I didn't know nothing about rehab, recovery, AA, none of that. You know what I'm saying? I just knew, you know, I was a person who was motivated to do things. Then I'm not motivated to do nothing but this drug. Yeah, and I had to come off of it. I did that. 10 days go by. I'm finally starting to feel normal. I called my kid's mother first. We still close to this day. We ain't been together in over 10 years. We got 2 kids together. I've been knowing her since I was 13 years old. So we still close friends. But she's the first one I called, and I came clean to her first. I said, you know why I haven't been showing up for the kids, why I haven't had money like I used to, this, that, and the third. I've been addicted to pills. And she was like, what? I said, yeah. And like I said, when I came clean to her, then my other friends, because I owed some of my friends money. Like I said, I used to sell weed, I used to get pounds and all that. And I told my boy I got robbed, owed him $2,500, you know what I'm saying? I came clean to him. Bro, I ain't get robbed. Something in me just had to come clean. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I had to get it off of me. You know what I'm saying? And these are people that I cared about too. You know what I'm saying? So it was that part. And I stayed off of pills for 10 months on my own. Still smoking weed, still drinking beers. Like I said, I didn't know nothing about recovery or nothing. I just knew if I got through this withdrawal, I could willpower myself through it because I've been willpowering myself since an 8-year-old kid that missed his mother and father. You know what I'm saying? So I was used to having to pick myself up and push through life. Yeah. So, Then, at this point, I'm no longer doing music. I'm managing some artists. This artist named Chili. And we was in Miami. He had a show in Miami. It was Memorial Day weekend. So we down in Miami. I've been off the pills for 10 months. But I'm used to when I go do these type of things, we party. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's been the lifestyle. Yeah,
it all goes with the environment of it. Some type of use happens. Some type of use goes on with that lifestyle of music. Yeah. It just happens to go with it.
Yeah, I went down there and did some ecstasy again. So, you know what I'm saying, we partied and went to the club and he had a show, everything went good, met some people, shook some hands. By the time I got home, ecstasy keeps you up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It keeps you
what they call it, rolling?
Rolling. Yeah. So you rolling, so you up for 2-3 days, depending on how much you take. So when I got home, I wanted to come down. And my mind said, you know what to take to come down. You get you one of them pills, That'll slow you down.
Devil is the lie.
Devil is a lie, man.
Or that's what it was. That's what it was, boy. That them intrusive thoughts that just pop up. It's like they don't just be you. You know, hey, people might believe what they want.
For sure.
But man, I highly believe. Like, listen, that thought don't just pop up out of nowhere. It just popped up in there. You know, now you're talking to yourself now. Yeah. You know what to do. You gotta go ahead and just take one of them. Man. It ain't gonna be too bad.
You're gonna get some sleep.
You're just gonna go to sleep. You're not gonna get as bad as you were before.
Woo. Ain't that a lie?
You know, that's what a lot of people think when they think they're gonna go back and get back into their lifestyle and just dibble it dabble. I'm just gonna try a little bit of this.
Right.
It's not gonna work like that. You're going to get back involved and you're gonna become a full blown user again because that's just how it happens. Because that's
it's exactly what happened. It's exactly what happened. I was worse off than before.
Yeah.
And this time I couldn't will myself to stop. This time I had got other jobs at another hospital, and had pieced some things back together during that 10 months. You know what I'm saying? I actually pulled some money out of my 401k, paid up some bills. I wasn't that stupid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Paid up some bills and things like that. But I ended up burning through a lot of that, you know. But yeah, when I came back home, got back on them pills, it was worse this time. The Kratom didn't help no more. You know what I'm saying? And I went on another 1.5 year run. And burnt it to the ground this time. Lost jobs, apartments, cars. I'm sleeping with girls just to stay with them. What they call that, hobosexual. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm homeless. I'm just sleeping with her because I need a place to stay.
Need a place to stay.
It got there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Dang, bro. See, and there's a parable in the Bible talks about, you know, when some demons, you know what I'm saying, then they come back for more. It's like, that first time, okay, you get over it. That's one thing. That second time, it's gonna hit you worse.
Yes.
That third time, it's gonna be even worse. And if it continue, that's a wrap.
Yeah.
You know, that's a wrap. You can OD. You end up catching these charges. Some people catch. You know, it can happen first. Some people is later. But man, it just tears your life down.
Yes.
The more you stop, the more you wait. It's like when you stop. And you go through that time frame of stopping, and then you go back to using. It's like you're trying to catch up with the time you missed from when you stopped.
Right.
It's like, you know what, I stopped for this now. I'm really trying to blow the house down now. I'm really going to try to get I'm really going to try to use all I can use. I done missed 10 months. I should have been doing this already.
Right. The disease says does all that to you.
Yeah, it does.
You know what I'm saying?
It definitely does.
And once I learned, here's the thing about rehab and all that. I learned so much. This is why I couldn't stop. I didn't know why I couldn't stop. I didn't know that it was the cravings and the, what they call it, you know, when they break down the science of it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Once you take it and then the thoughts that you have and, you know what I'm saying, it overrides everything.
Yeah.
And all that. And once I started learning those type of things, I said, oh, okay, this is why I couldn't stop. And as I went further along in rehab and then started working in recovery, you know what I'm saying, I started to understand the disease and why my mother couldn't stop. And why I used to think, why you just can't stop drinking? You know what I'm saying? I didn't know she had a disease that runs in our family that a lot of people in this world suffer from. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I forgive her for a lot of things now. She's passed away since then, but you know what I'm saying? I forgive her for a lot of things I didn't know.
That's a good thing that you forgive, because now you get more of an understanding. And I think that's what comes with forgiveness. And that's such an important thing with recovery, with helping other people out and being able to help other people out. Because listen, people, once you get up, I feel like you're obligated to help other people out if you've been in that situation.
Absolutely.
You share knowledge to the next generation. You share knowledge to the next people, you know, and you help them out. You don't want to see nobody go down the same path that you went down.
Nah.
You know, and that's why I realize a lot of people who get into recovery, they fought a lot of these things. See, if a person gets into helping people out and they never been through a struggle, then you get places and situations, I'm not naming any names or anything, but you get places that only look at clients as numbers.
Right.
Money. And they don't truly understand what they're going through. So then they don't get that real one-on-one time.
Right.
They don't get that correct love and things like that they need because the doctor or the peer support,
The therapist,
they're looking. I'm like, listen, man, we just need the money that you bringing in. We know this scientifically, but you can't relate. So
Right.
then you got the clients coming in, they can't relate.
That's why it's a revolving door.
It's a revolving door because they're like, you can't even relate, man. You don't know what I'm going through. At the end of the mind, they might be coming to try to get help, but they're looking at the peers like, listen, you don't even know what I'm going through right now. But when you got peers who've been through what they've been through, then it's a different story. Listen, bro, I know what you've been through.
Yes.
You can read all you
We
read,
cut
read
through
to,
all the
cut
book.
through all the bull crap.
Yeah.
You know, you could look at I could read this book to you, but if I haven't been through what this book talking about, you just talking at this point in time. You
Right.
ain't never been through war. You ain't never been through these battles that I've been through.
Yeah.
So the thing about it is, like, I look at it like, you know, especially a place like First Step Recovery,
Yes,
you
sir.
got a lot of people who've been through the struggles, might have been alcoholics, might have been addicted to marijuana, addicted to hard drugs, meth, cocaine, pills, whatever it might have been, whatever their struggle was, addicted to sex, whatever their struggle was.
Right.
And then they stopped it. They went through that process. You know, if they stopped it one way or another, but they know what it took to stop. And they stopped. And once they stopped, they decided, listen, I want to help now.
I gotta help.
You have to.
Once you get on this side and realize that helping others helps me more than it ever helps them. I show up today for work. I'm a peer support specialist here at First Step Recovery. You know, we do classes and you know the whole thing. And I tell my guys in the class all the time, man, y'all doing more for me than I ever could do for y'all. You know what I'm saying? This keeps me focused. This keeps me on track. And helping somebody just feels good to the soul.
Yeah, it does.
And then this piece right here. Because, you know, I believe in God and I believe everything happens for a reason. And my journey was meant to be, like I tell people now, I had to go through that.
Yeah.
Again, most people that know me don't think I had a drug problem.
Yeah.
I've always carried myself a certain way, you know what I'm saying? I think God put me through this for a reason to help people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To come out on the other side and be able to pull somebody up and show them, look, man, this happened to me later in life. It can happen to you at any time. Looking back on it, I was addicted to marijuana and drinking and all that. I just could maintain it. And then when I met them pills, that's when it all crashed and
That's when it
burned.
crashed out, yeah.
But looking back on it, yeah, I had all the signs.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying?
you know something too, because a lot of people like to say, listen, the marijuana is not addictive.
Yeah.
And alcohol. Nah, listen, it is.
Yeah, I know people
It is.
that- I know
And
people
I know
that-
people who got withdrawals from marijuana, you know what I'm saying? Like once you start smoking, man, you really feeling, if you're doing something and then you don't do it, and you're feeling agitated.
Yes.
All of a sudden you're catching anxiety.
Yes.
All of a sudden you're stressing more. You're
Yes.
going through depression. That's withdrawal.
Yeah, and you gotta
That's
have
wrong.
if you gotta have it every day, you're addicted to it.
You're addicted.
Period.
You're
You know what I'm
addicted.
saying? But you know, some people can do that and cope and go
Yeah.
through life fine.
Yeah, some people do. Some people can't.
I can't. I couldn't
Yeah.
with what I end up doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like I went through it for a reason. Now I know we was gonna touch on some financial things. You know what I'm saying? The best advice I can give somebody as far as coming into recovery, trying to get their life back together, if they've lost everything, it's really a blessing in disguise. If you come to one of these programs, you go to Sober Living, and you go into those classes, and you know what I'm saying, and you live in there for free at that point, but you gotta do what you gotta do for the program. It's a perfect time to get your life back together. Once you understand that these people and what they suggesting is what you have to do, get a sponsor, work the 12 steps, go to meetings, start helping people. Take some time to heal yourself. Don't rush in to get a job and run out here. You get some money in your pocket 9 times out of 10, you're going to go back to doing what you was doing. However, once you figure that part out and you take some time for yourself and you 3 months in or whatever, when you do get a job, you can stack your money. I stayed in Sober Living for 2 years getting my life together. Getting mentally, physically, financially, and spiritually, bro. So I tell anybody, I didn't plan on doing that. I ended up working there for one of the years, you know what I'm saying, but I still lived there. I became a house manager, then I became a peer support, then I became a CDA-C1, a certified counselor, drug and alcohol counselor, all through that program. And it was all a blessing. At the same time, financially, I was able to take that money and stack that money. You know what I'm saying? Give me a credit card, start working on my credit while I'm under the roof of this treatment center, getting my life together.
Yeah.
So you can take this opportunity to kind of pause your life a little bit. I know that sounds crazy, but if you are addicted to drugs, you probably need to pause your life. And while you're doing that and while you're learning and while you're healing, I opened up to my therapist. I stopped trying to think I knew it all. I stopped trying to chase the girls. You know what I'm saying? And I surrendered. You know what I'm saying? And I took 2 years, like I said, and got my life together financially. I mean, I'm not rich enough, crazy, but getting on the right path back to having some things.
Yeah, fast.
In that time, I started my own sober living houses. I have 3-quarter transitional housing. I have three houses right now.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. I rent to people in recovery now. So we rent rooms. You know what I'm saying? I don't do any programming or nothing like that right now. But so it gave me an opportunity to start a business. So in that 2 years, along with getting the accreditation that I got, along with trying to get my mind, body, and soul together, get closer to God, get my finances together, get a relationship back with my kids, first and foremost, you know what I'm saying? I was able to start a business. I started the business back in November. This is June. You know what I'm saying? We started with one house, got another house in February, got our third house in May. We looking for a fourth house right now. The need is so much. People calling my phone every day looking for rooms. And it's really taken off. And I've tried my hand at a lot of businesses over my years, man.
Yeah.
And it's the first time that something seems to be clicking together. And that's why I say, going full circle, it was meant for me to go through what I went through. So I can help people as I help myself. You know what I'm saying?
That's a great story right there.
Yeah.
And one thing that it seems like stands out is that you started being selfless, not selfish.
Right.
And once you start doing, even the word talks about that, it says, what? Doing to others like you like to be doing to you,
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Loving everybody as you love yourself. Once you start loving yourself,
man,
then you can love your neighbor.
Yes.
That's the important thing when you start being like, you know what? I don't need anything else. I'm good.
Yes.
I don't need nothing to feel good. I'm good without it.
Yes, sir.
I'm good without it. Listen, you're good without having to drink alcohol. You're good without having to smoke weed. You're good without having to take pills. You're good without having to do any type of drug. Put God first. And he'll lead your path, man. It'll go back around the circle. And then you stop being selfish, because if you're using, look what happened with you, bro. You were using, and then you stop going with one thing, your kids.
Yeah.
You stop doing things for your kids because the drug completely took control of you, people. It is chemically making you imbalanced, chemically affecting your body, chemically affecting your mind.
Right.
Opening the door to all these demons, opening the doors to all these things that's affecting you. Not only physically, spiritually, mentally.
Yes, sir.
And then once you figure that out, and you put God first, then you remove these things from your life, and then you're starting to think clearly. Then it's like, you know what? Like he said, get that time to heal. You need this time. You need first off, if you're on the street and then you find a place that's sober house living, or you found a program like First Step Recovery that is 60 to 90 day program, they house people when they come in and get their treatment. When you get these programs like that, then you're able to actually have a place where you can focus on yourself instead of focus what's going on in your environment. It's raining today. It's a storm. It's a hurricane. Flood coming today. I got nowhere to sleep. I got no shower. I got no type of food. I don't know where I'm going to get the next thing from, what the next person I'm going to talk to. I don't have nobody I could trust. But then once you go into these places like this, once you have a place that you could go to, like you said, sober house living, go into places like First Step Recovery, then you're able to actually sit there and focus on yourself.
Yes.
And then once you get that right, like you said, then you're able to start stacking your money, accumulate a plan. And then the
plan, don't forget the plan part.
Accumulate.
Set your goal. I'm gonna give you this piece too. That's huge, and I tell guys all the time, man, when I was now it's been an up and down road. When I went to sober living, I relapsed there. You know what I'm saying? And all that. So I ended up back in rehab at that point. And I'm at the Arc, the Crown, and I'm surrounded by 500 people. They got on this campus, they turned the college into a rehab, right? And I'm sitting in the kitchen, and it's 500 people, and it takes an hour to get through line just to get breakfast and meds. And I'm, woe is me, how did I get here again, man? I can't believe I did myself like this again. And I'm talking to God. See, throughout my whole journey, I was talking to God. You know what I'm saying? This church, my grandmother, my aunties, what they instilled in me, carried me through. So I'm talking to God. So I start writing down my goals, man. I'm in rehab with nothing. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I wrote down, this time when I go back, I'm going to do what these people suggested. I'm going to get a sponsor. I'm writing this down. I'm going to work in recovery. I'm going to start my own sober living house. It's going to be called Misfits of Recovery. This is what I wrote this down. And Misfit stands for Mindful, Intelligent, Successful, Free Individuals That Serve. And that come from my rapping days to making things into acronyms.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
hey, certain things stick with you.
Yes,
now. That's
yes.
for sure. That's
You know
for
what I'm
sure.
saying?
Hey, it's just a way to express yourself, for sure.
And the power of writing things down, talking to God, and manifesting it into my life. Fast forward 2 years later, I got my own sober living houses. I work in recovery. I got a sponsor. I worked the 12 steps. I stayed sober. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired at that point. You got to get to that point now. But if you lean on your higher power, I don't know, it might be the universe. It might be God. It might be your inner self. Whatever that looks like for you, you know what I'm saying? If you lean on that, tap into that, man, you'd be surprised what manifests into your life.
Yeah. Write it down.
Write it down.
Write your vision
Goals,
down. Write
yes.
it down, man. Get your pad today. If you don't have one, write it down. Get your dream board today. Write it down with something to write your dreams on. What you're trying.
I got a whiteboard in my
What you're trying to
bedroom.
do, and then stick to it. Because
Still.
every day you wake up and you look and you see
Yes.
that. Every time you walk by, you look there and see like, I'm gonna make this happen. This is gonna happen. I can't forget that today. I need to do something to push forward
Yes.
to that. I need this X amount of money to start my
Yes.
LLC. I need to research this X amount of money to see about the laws on this. I need this to do that. You need to, when you start, I need to talk to this person because this person might have some information that I'm looking forward to, you know,
Yes, sir.
and you start seeking. But first off, you got to write it down.
Yes.
It's not as quick as you think about stuff, it goes out of your mind.
Yes.
And that's the problem with a lot of people. They don't really write it down. And once you don't write that vision down, it's not gonna work. Because then you're not gonna have it in your face how it's supposed to be in your face. Like a drill sergeant. It's like hunting you. Every time you turn around, dang, I woke up in the morning, I seen this thing in front of my man. Business, misfits. God dang, man, I don't even feel like waking up today, man. I just feel like laying in my bed. Misfits, dang, you know what I'm saying? I gotta get up here and get it, man, because I'm here now, but I got this vision here, where I need to be and where I'm gonna be. It's not, hey, it's gonna happen. It's not if it's gonna happen. It's when it's gonna happen.
Exactly.
I believe you can't fail with God. That's one thing I believe, truly. You can't fail with God. Ain't no way you can fail.
Ain't no way.
You know what I'm saying? So lean on that with your higher power. Lean on that and accumulate that plan. Write it down. It's good financial advice right here. You know what I'm saying? And then you're gonna learn, but get yourself into a place of stability.
Yes. Figure out that you want to surrender, that you're tired of going through whatever it is you're going through. If you're living on the street, if you're stealing from your mother, if you ain't seen your kids, if you lost your job, if you keep getting DUIs, whatever that looks like in your life, man, and you know you need to change, then when you get to that point and you talk to God and make a decision to come into one of these places like First Step, Recovery, and you can start that journey of healing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's all good stuff right there. Start your journey to the day. Get tired today. Get tired.
Get tired
Get
today.
tired today. You already tired. You looking at this video, you made it this far into the video, you tired.
Yeah.
You tired already, man. Get tired today of how you living. Get tired today. Send this to somebody who you know need to get tired today. Facts. Get tired today of how you living and start getting things better. Start putting your life together. Start doing what you need to do to get sober and get your mind frame straight. Yes, sir, brother.
Yes, sir.
Man, thanks for coming into
I
the show
appreciate
today,
that,
man. Yes, sir.
I appreciate that.
Hey, this is the 12 at 12 podcast. Is there anything else you want to say for the records? Let them know.
I'm just super grateful today. Thanks for First Step Recovery, for the opportunities that y'all gave me. My business today is called Next Level Recovery. For those looking to rent rooms at a transitional sober living house, me and my business partner, shout out to Kelvin. Man, I love my life today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. See that, man? Listen, one thing about it, don't complain. Just do it. Just do it. It's going to have ups, it's going to have downs. It's going to have good days, bad days, hard days. Some days are going to be better. The thing about it is Don't let those intrusive thoughts get in your mind and tell you you're not worth having a better life. You're not worth having this business. It's over for you. You done felt 5 or 10 times at these businesses and it's not working. Nah. It's gonna work.
It's gonna work.
It's gonna work. Just keep pushing forward.
Just keep pushing.
And don't give up. And take these steps with you. We love you all, and this is 12 and 12 Podcast. Subscribe and share for more. And don't forget, holla at First Step Recovery if you need help with your addiction problem. Have a blessed day.
Salute.